Good evening and salutations, my Days of Elias fans. I'm gonna be honest, this whole Nancy and Craig, I actually found that his name is Craig. Thought it was Greg. I could still be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Craig now. This whole scene just dragged out way too long. Um, Now I understand that Nancy is heartbroken and upset that the man that she knew for pretty much all her life practically, um, one second, is cheating on her with someone else. But when she starts asking questions like, how long did you have feelings for men and, this, that, and the third, and, why didn't you sit there and tell me this? I'm kind of looking at this like, why does it matter? I say that because at the end of the day, your heart is still broken, the vows are still broken. What's the difference if it was a man or a woman? Like why does that matter? I mean the point is he chose somebody else over you after being with you for an extremely long time. That's ultimately what you should be upset about, not this whole going into his past and having him to explain, that he was attracted to men and, then he put those feelings aside, like all this other stuff. It's just like why is that important? What was that going to change? That's another thing. What was that going to change? She was like, why did you sit there and tell me these feelings about, you having feelings for another man? What would have changed? You still would have fell in love with him. You still would have had children with him. You still would have been married to him. So what really changed? I'm confused. Abby. Abby is continuing to be the worst hostage in the history of, just I don't know, the way she's sitting there talking to Kristen like she's still in control. First she's like, well, first she grabs Kristen's arm, and Kristen's like, let go of me. And Abby's like, no, I'm not doing that until you tell me what happened to my, to Kayla and Steve. I'm like, if Kristen puts a hole in your leg, I'm pretty sure you're going to let go. I just love the whole time. I don't know where this comes from. I don't know if this is just privilege. I have no idea where is this coming from, but she still feels like she's in control. Turns out Kristen didn't kill Steve or Kayla, which I'm just like, why? Now I get it. I understand they're main characters and yada yada yada. But I felt like if that was the case, it should just played out a different way, especially for Steve. I'm like, yo, you had him dead to right. You could have just said beep beep, and that would have been the end of it. That would have literally been the end of it. No, we're gonna sit there and, you know, kidnap two more people. I don't understand that. Why are you kidnapping so many people? It's too many hostages to sit there and keep track of. You got Kayla and Steve, you got Sarah, and then you have Abigail. This is what happens when you don't actually, kill off your rivals or your enemies or people in your way. You wind up with way too many hostages. Um, so after she finds out, you know, Kristen's pretty much like, "Oh, why don't you take a look on the island?" No, I mean, listen, just don't get bitten by a snake or anything like that. I mean, it's a jungle out there. And she's literally like, "You could just go." I mean, where are you gonna go? It's a deserted island. Where are you going? What are you gonna sit there and do? Get like a paddle and a boat and just roll your way back to Salem? Good luck. So, with that being said, she leaves and, Abby's like, well, I'm going to find Kayla and Steve and then we're going to sit there and get the hell out of here. I'm like, you really are sure of yourself, aren't you? Amazing. And yeah, Steve, Steve was in a trunk. I'm not going to lie. I did laugh about that. I also laughed at something that Roman said yesterday when he was talking about, EJ's cellmate being, hopefully he's like lonely and stuff like that. That was the one thing that I felt like saved that episode a little bit. But yeah, Steve is in the trunk. Um, so Kayla gets him out. They start talking, and bottom line, Steve thinks that Sarah's there. So they're gonna sit there and try to figure out a way out and get Sarah and get the hell out of here after explaining everything that happened. Um, Michaela and Kristen, the gun went off and it hit a vase, and then she's like, "Yo, the nuns are gonna be here in a minute. What the hell am I gonna do with you? Shoot her. You could shoot her, and you can just keep it moving. No, we're just gonna grab more hostages. Okay, we're just gonna grab more hostages because why not at this point?" And lastly, my least favorite two people in the in the show. Yep, Ben and Ciara. They got a new house. They got a new place to live. And Johnny came over to Julie's place and wants to sit there and talk to Doug. But Julie was like, "Yo, you don't come and mess with us. You don't talk to us or anything like that. And now you're just coming over here to ask Doug about his time being the devil, because that's what he wants, right? That's what he needs. Um, Making a movie, off of a tragedy in a sense with her, and just thinking that we're gonna be cool. But after Johnny Diablo sets a fire or like a smoke detector off, or something burning in the kitchen. He's like, what? Because Julie was gonna sit there and take like a cross and some other stuff over there to Ben and Sierra's place. But Johnny Diablo was like, what? Let's not do it. Why don't you sit there and make sure nothing else goes on fire or anything like that? I'll just take it over there. I just need to know where their address is. And he picks up the cross. Now at this point, I'm like, I guess the devil is just immune to like crosses now. Doesn't burn him or anything like that. It's just I don't know. I'm sitting there thinking about Buffy, when a vampire or whatever grabs a cross, but that didn't happen. So Johnny Diablo comes over there to Ben and Sierra's place, and Sierra hugs him and stuff like that, and Ben is like, "All right, cool. What do you want? What do you want, bro? It's come on, like we about to go to bed. Like what are you doing here?" Um, Johnny talks about still making a movie and everything like that, and Ben is just not too happy about that. After all the pain it caused Marlena and stuff like that, finding out that he's still making a movie, he's like, "Bro, are you kidding me? What the hell's the matter with you? Why would you sit there and do that? Put your family, us and everyone else through all this pain and everything like that. Like, why would you sit there and practically want us to relive that?" And he made sure he was like, "Yo, listen, if you're gonna make this movie, not put me, her, or our baby in your movie. That ain't happening." So you can just tell the tension. Sarah just saw the tension and everything like that. Um, and with that being said, with the tension and everything like that, Johnny pretty much gave him the cross, the hammer, and was like, "All right, I'm out." And Ben took Sierra across the threshold. I think he did that once or twice. He did that the first time. He pushed out the cross, goes inside. Excuse me. Johnny Diablo turns the cross upside down, which I'm not gonna lie was kind of creeping me out a little bit. It's a little bit kind of a creepy image, to be honest. He turns the cross upside down and then he just walks off. There was one point he was saying something, but I couldn't tell if it was just a bad audio or just whatever in voice enhancement they were using. But he said something, and then he just walks off. Oh, also Claire, um, Chloe and Chloe and Brady were outside waiting to sit there and find out what's going on with Nancy. Chloe was not there worried about Nancy and, you know, hating her dad or being mad at her dad for hurting Nancy. And to be honest, I was just like, honestly, tell you the truth, I wish I could care. I get it, that's her mom, so, her dad is not there putting her through hell. I get that. Um, and Chloe and Brady hug, and Brady's like, we're friends. We're friends until they make it more because, Philip is on vacation or the actor's on vacation. Maybe he'll come back at some point. I gotta be honest, if he comes back, how are they gonna actually make that work? How are they gonna make that work? I guess they're trying to find some sort of way to make it work. Um, I'm like, bro, if that ever comes to light that he faked his own death or his own disappearance and everything, this man is going to jail. Okay, jail. That's where he's going. Um, but you know, while he's going, they're gonna sit there and want him hooking up, and I look at it, and I was meant to think about this at work, and I was like, let me get this straight. Your boyfriend, I didn't end things. Your boyfriend is missing, might be dead, but now is the time for you to sit there and hook up with Brady because, you know, that makes sense. Which was the last thing he was upset with you about was Brady. So the first thing you're gonna sit there and do after a little while, you're just gonna hook up with him. Okay. But to be fair, the actor's gone for a while. It doesn't make any sense to then put them on hold as far as pause, as far as their relationship is concerned. So it just makes sense from a story point of view to just have them together. Um, I don't know how I feel about it, but at this point, for story purposes, I'm fine with it. But just like looking at his optics, I'm just like, man could be like dead or hurt or whatever, and you decide to hook up with the one guy who that constantly cause problems between you two, because that makes sense, right? Hmm, I don't know. This episode was okay. I gotta sit there and say my favorite part was the Kristen part with Abigail. Problem with that scene is that Abigail sounds way too confident, and I can't tell if this is privilege. This is just her being an idiot. I can't really tell. Um, which was a little kind of annoying because it was like, this chick got a gun. You grabbing on her, you asking a bunch of questions, you're irritating the living life out of her. She could sit there and just put a hole in your leg, and I bet you would shut up then. But no, you gotta sit there and act like a 7-year-old child, asking a bunch of questions and be like, I'm gonna sit there and get out of here. Like she's in control of the situation. I think that was the part that was just like, alright, this chick is literally on practically a deserted island with a woman with a gun and you somehow think that you're still in charge of anything. What are you just going to do? You're just going to starve to death? Like, what is your plan? Oh, I'm sorry. You're just going to sit there and find Kayla and Steve and just get the hell out of here. Good luck with that. Yeah, Island stuff was probably the best stuff. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. It was an okay episode.